I'm Ollie Davis, welcome to WrestleTalk. Our top story today, and likely for the rest of this week, is the 17th WWE Draft taking place from Friday, where wrestlers are moved exclusively to either Raw or SmackDown for at least 3 weeks before they all start showing up wherever they like again. On the 22nd of April episode of SmackDown, the most jacked school photo you've ever seen was aired, showing all eligible talent. Michael Cole then added that NXT wrestlers would also be up for grabs that aren't on that graphic. PW Insider, thankfully, are already reporting which NXT wrestlers those could be. We're entering the spoiler room brawl in 3, 2. CM Punk is the new SmackDown general manager. Just kidding. Minimizing the amount of people Punk could work with by doing a brand split is a terrible idea. 1. PW Insider is reporting that WWE officials are discussing the following NXT names for draft call-ups. Former tag team champions Pretty Deadly, who've impressed recently at main roster live events. Cameron Grimes, who's been off TV since late last year, which he appears to have spent getting swole. Ilya Dragunov, who could reprise his amazing feud with Gunther. And Zoe Stark. Worked Wrestling have also mentioned Tyler Bate recently after he impressed in a main event match against Dolph Ziggler. And then there's the standard Bron Breakker call-up rumor that happens every few months, although his recent title loss and heel turn implies he'll be sticking around in NXT longer. In terms of wrestlers who already exist on the main roster, there are rumors about who will go where too. The entire bloodline will remain on SmackDown because Roman Reigns needs a minimum of 3 separate people interfering in every title match. Cody Rhodes is rumored to stay on Raw. This is to keep him away from Reigns, add some adversity, and do the rematch way down the line. I'm gonna beat Brock Lesnar. Quiet adversity, Brock's gonna destroy you. We'll have a heel faction swap with Judgment Day moving to SmackDown, which is kind of necessary because Rhea Ripley is the SmackDown Women's Champion, and Imperium will move to Raw. That'll mean 2 mid-card titles on Monday nights. So US Champion Austin Theory will be drafted to SmackDown, and the undisputed tag team champions Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn will exist on Raw, although it's unknown if their unified belts mean they can still appear on both brands. The craziest part, though, is similar to many of WWE's drafts in the past. Fightful is reporting wrestlers are not being told ahead of time which brand they're getting drafted to. This means Friday's SmackDown and Monday's Raw will see shoot, that is to say, real reactions of the wrestlers learning their brand fates for the next year / next 3 weeks before everyone just starts showing up everywhere again. For independent contractors who still arrange their own travel and accommodation for touring, this can be hugely inconvenient, where you might be split up from your road buddy or others who you split costs with for expenses such as car rental. As we've seen in previous years' drafts, wrestlers in relationships is also a big factor, with WWE typically trying to keep them together, unless they want to break them up, in which case they draft them to separate brands. That means you can expect wherever Becky Lynch gets drafted, Seth Rollins will likely go there too. Before we get on to more draft spoilers though, here's a word from our sponsors.
Hey, Ollie. Alright, you might have got me with that whole New World Ollie thing, the NWO.
Yeah, but I finally got a 3-letter name working.
You know that NWO is already taken, right? The New World Order. It's a very famous wrestling thing.
What do you want? The Luke World Ollie?
That's the LWO.
News World Ollie?
That's the same letters.
No, it's not. NEWS News.
That's not how initials work.
All right. Alien Bacterial Cultures.
That's ABC.
Northern Basic Artichokes.
NBA. Also, what?
Visually perplexing nose hairs.
Son of a bitch. Not again.
Surfshark VPN is an online tool that keeps you safe wherever you browse by masking your important information, which means you can check sensitive stuff like your bank account even on public Wi-Fi. Surfshark keeps your location and download history private and encrypted, meaning you can send or receive files securely too, like my ongoing spreadsheet of 3-letter acronyms for the company. But on top of that, Surfshark also allows you access to any of 3,200 servers in over 100 countries, allowing you to fool your phone, laptop, or tablet into thinking you're in a different country, meaning you Americans can still get the old WWE network. I love you, superior search function! If you click the link in the description down below or visit surfshark.deals/WrestleTalk, you can get 83% off plus 3 months for free when you use the code WrestleTalk on checkout. That's surfshark.deals/WrestleTalk and use the promo code WrestleTalk for 83% off and 3 months for free. Back to the draft. While Johnny Gargano and AJ Styles are both on the WWE graphic of eligible superstars, they both appear to be out injured. Fightful is reporting Gargano has re-aggravated a shoulder injury from December, which he's doing physical therapy for to hopefully avoid surgery. And after breaking his ankle in January, there is no update on AJ's return. Usually wrestlers would show up at the Performance Center to start getting back into ring shape, but PW Insider note they haven't heard anything about him being spotted there. Which brings us on to people who are totally missing from the graphic. Robert Roode underwent fusion surgery in December, meaning he is expected to be out for quite some time still. Big E, who broke his neck over a year ago, isn't included, fueling fears that the injury is so serious his career could be over. Olympic wrestler Gable Steveson has quietly disappeared despite being drafted by Raw in the last draft. And fittingly, can't see John Cena anywhere. But there are a number of active wrestlers from this year who have disappeared from WWE TV who aren't included in the graphic. Carmella, who disappeared for unknown reasons just before WrestleMania. Alexa Bliss, who hasn't appeared on TV since just after the Royal Rumble. She's publicly tweeted she's not on a hiatus and WWE know where to find her. And the biggest name missing from WWE right now, Bray Wyatt. One of the biggest stars and merch sellers in the company who hasn't been seen since the SmackDown Before Elimination Chamber in February. That isn't to say these names aren't preparing a hoped-for return right now. WWE could be keeping them off the eligible names graphic for their draft pick to be a surprise. Like one other tease name, Eva Marie. Yeah, Eva Marie. Bet you didn't think you'd hear that one again. Feels like Eva Marie has left and returned to WWE more times than Big Show's had heel-face turns. She debuted on the main roster in 2013, was sent to NXT in 2015, returned to the main roster in 2016, left the company in 2017, returned in 2020, had several weeks of hype promos, came back with some kind of self-improvement gimmick with Doudrop as her protege. Yeah, remember that? That's the part of the pandemic my brain has tried hardest to forget. She did that hilarious fake tripping over thing in an Alexa's Playground segment and was released 5 months later. But now, she's teasing her return. She said that door is always open. We're in constant talks to WrestleZone about her relationship with WWE several weeks ago, and now in a vlog posted to her YouTube channel with the thumbnail, "Am I coming back?" she reveals it is now a maybe. Thanks for the clarity there, Eva. Super helpful. She then went on to describe her potential gimmick change for if she returned. Eva Marie could come back as like a dark kind of persona. Dye my hair back to black. Come in, you never know. To give you a cut and dry answer, it's a maybe. I'll always, definitely, I love WWE, and the fact that I'm in talks with them right now, currently, is amazing. I think you're confusing new character with haircut. But the most important draft move of the week might be at the top of WWE's TV partner, NBCU, where their CEO was drafted to unemployment. WWE's biggest business partner is arguably NBCU. They show Raw on their USA network, and they have a $1 billion deal in place for the exclusive rights to the WWE network on their Peacock streaming platform. WWE will be negotiating new TV deals this year, but they won't have the usual NBCU CEO Jeff Shell they're used to, as he's just left his role after admitting to an inappropriate relationship with a woman in the company. If WWE's business is anything to go by, Shell will return to the company next year to make even more money than ever. Shell has been at NBCU for the last 19 years and has been CEO since January 2020. His division will now report directly to the Comcast president Mike Cavanagh, who will now presumably be dealing with WWE for the renegotiations, who's issued a statement. You should count on your leaders to create a safe and respectful workplace. When our principles and policies are violated, we will always move quickly to take appropriate action, as we have done here. Enjoy those TV rights negotiations where those words will not come back to haunt you. When WWE's TV rights for both Raw and SmackDown come due, there was a recent rumor that Warner Bros. Discovery could make a play for them, which is very interesting, as Warner Bros. Discovery already have a wrestling product on their TV networks, and it's called AEW. But it turns out you won't see WWE level up next week in Winnipeg anytime soon, as Fightful Select have now refuted this rumor, reporting that WWE have had conversations with several potential suitors and none of them were Warner. Apparently people at Warner want to focus on the AEW relationship too, which you can see with the increase in programming they're giving them, like the behind-the-scenes show All Access and the rumored new Saturday show AEW Collision. Over in Japan, Mercedes Mone, the former Sasha Banks in WWE, lost her IWGP Women's title to Mayu Iwatani. The match took place at Stardom's All-Star Grand Queendom show, which set attendance records for the promotion and is said to be possibly the best show of the year so far. Yeah, even better than WrestleMania 39 Night 2. It was so good, even Mojo Rawley was there, who revealed on Twitter he flew all the way to Japan to support his friend. Going into the show, it was reportedly Mercedes' last date on her New Japan contract. According to Dave Meltzer, she agreed an extension just hours before the show took place, and she's already announced her next stop will be the New Japan Resurgence show in Long Beach in May. Meltzer also reported, though, why Naomi was never brought into New Japan along with her. The promotion thought it would cost too much, and they were told to keep spending down. Naomi herself has denied this, writing "not true" over a screenshot of the report on her Instagram. It's been a whole week since we relaunched the WrestleTalk news with the new look and the "Go Faster" stripe. To break kayfabe somewhat, I was pretty nervous. YouTube isn't famous for being accepting of sudden change, so this was a really big gamble for us, and I'd just like to say thank you so much for all the positive feedback you've had in the comments. I know some people aren't fully on board with the changes. I just ask that you keep trying out, as hopefully it'll grow on you, and we're going to keep tweaking bits and making further adjustments so it can be the best it can possibly be for you. Since last Monday, we've actually tried out 4 different backing tracks, as that seemed to be the most common bit people wanted changed, the sound to this show. So let me know what you think of today's version, and hopefully we can make it work. Thank you so much for supporting WrestleTalk. Now go watch Adam Blompier fantasy book Backlash.
Also, that makes the whole, Backlash part of the name. Makes sense. Triple H, you're a genius. Despite WrestleMania 39 being mostly very good indeed, Backlash does seem like an appropriate name, what with Cody not winning and people being very cross about that, and also Vince lurking near creative like a testosteratu. What's going to go down at the